Hello, this is Hwan Sansanim. Welcome to the first episode of our third season. I would like to welcome all of our new viewers and also welcome back our older viewers. Our older viewers will know that for the past 2 years, we have been trying to share the Sun meditation teachings of my teacher, Sun Master Songdam, on this program. The focus thus far has been on trying to learn how Sun meditation can help us who live in modern society. And for the last 2 years, we've learned that Sun meditation is very helpful, for example, for dealing with negative emotions like anger, anxiety, loneliness, and depression. It also has many physical benefits. And we learned that Sun meditation helps us to deal with difficult relationships and even improves our work and academic performance. Now, all of this is well and good, and at this point, I think we all know that Sun meditation is good for us. But originally, Sun meditation, it was not designed for the simple purpose of achieving well-being or even just personal growth and development. The truth is, the ultimate purpose of Sun meditation has always been and will always be enlightenment. So for this third season, we would like to focus on the importance of enlightenment to normal people like you and me. Now, many of us in modern society, even people who believe in Buddhism, feel that enlightenment has nothing to do with them. We work at our jobs, we raise our families, we try to live good lives, and we feel that we don't have time for enlightenment, or it's just not something that we think about. But what I would like to argue for this third season of our program is that enlightenment is very relevant, urgently so, even to us who live in modern society. Now, I am very proud and happy to announce that for this season, we will be able to learn the enlightenment teachings of Sun Master Songdam directly from Sun Master Songdam himself. We're going to broadcast on our program the video recorded Dharma speeches of my teacher, Sun Master Songdam, which he has given over the years. And then for those of us who do not understand the very traditional Buddhist language that he uses, I will help to interpret his teachings for a modern audience. So this is the very first time that Sun Master Songdam's Dharma speeches will be available like this in both Korean and English. So I welcome you to come here and learn directly from Sun Master Songdam himself.
오소래 유유이야 영인철견 본가풍이니라나 답을 주고 일득 금강하면 광급무명 당하공인이라 나 이미
What we just heard was the Gatha of Sun Master Songdam. A Gatha is a poem that expresses the enlightenment of an enlightened master. We may think of it as a song of enlightenment, and that is exactly how Sun Master Songdam has recited it for us. Now, let me introduce you to Sun Master Songdam. Sun Master Songdam originally ordained as a Buddhist monastic in Korea at the age of 21 under his teacher, the legendary Grand Master Jeongang, who was at the time considered one of the greatest enlightened masters in Korea. As soon as Sun Master Songdam ordained, he undertook a vow of silence, which he performed for the following 10 years. And at the end of those 10 years, he attained enlightenment. And his teacher, Grand Master Jeongang, then gave him Dharma transmission and made him the representative of the Korean Sun Buddhist meditative tradition. After his teacher's passing in 1975, Sun Master Songdam has been sharing the Sun meditation teachings with both monastics and lay people for more than the last 40 years. About 5 years ago, he then came to me and asked me to share his teachings with a modern audience, both in Korea and around the world. He felt that with my modern background, it might be easier for me to communicate these ancient teachings and practices. And so this program was born. And to our great surprise and delight, we have received comments and questions from all around the world, from viewers in the US and Canada, in France and Germany and Russia, in Saudi Arabia, India, China, Japan, and Indonesia. So this level of response has really been very, very gratifying for us, and I perform this program with great gratitude for this kind of interest in what we do. So for the benefit of all of our new viewers, for this first episode, we would like to go back into the original instructions for practicing sun meditation for raw beginners. For those of our viewers who have been watching our program and performing sun meditation on their own, you should know that with this season, and beginning with this episode, we will go into sun meditation technique much more than before. So then now, without further ado, let's listen to Sun Master Songdam teach us how to practice sun meditation.
참선을 하는 데에는 첫째, 몸을 고르는 것이다. 가부좌 또는 반가부좌를 해서 몸을 단정히 하되 어깨나 목이나 그게 너무 힘을 주어가지고 뻣뻣하게 그렇게 하는 것이 아닙니다. 단정히 하면서도 어깨의 힘을 빼고 목의 힘을 빼고 눈은 감지도 말고 너무 뚝 부릅뜨지도 말고 평상으로 뜨고서 앉은 자리에서 약 2m쯤 앞이 보이도록 그런 정도로 눈을 떠. 이것이 몸을 단정히 하는 방법이고, 그 다음에 조식이니 호흡을 하는 것인데, 참선을 하는데 가장 적합한 호흡을 하면 몸도 건강해지고 참선도 잘 되는 그런 호흡법이 있습니다. 이것이 단전호흡이라 하는 것인데, 부처님께서도 이 수식관이라 해서 이 호흡을 하면서 그 호흡하는 수를 해나가는 그런 방법으로 초학자를 지도하시기도 했습니다. 근데 호흡을 들어 마실 때에도 조용하게 길게 들어 마시고 내쉴 때도 조용하게 길게 내쉬는데, 너무 무리를 해서 억지로 하면 오히려 부작용이 일어나는 것입니다. 그래서 그 사람의 연령과 체격과 체질에 따라서 가장 자기 편안한 정도로 느리게 천천히 그리고 조용히 하라고 하니까 너무 무리하게 해가지고 얼굴이 붉게 한두 번 하고 나면 다시 헛숨을 쉬어야 할 정도로 그렇게 무리하게 하는 것이 아닙니다. 들어 마실 때 한 3초 정도 걸려서 들어 마시고 들어 마신 호흡을 약 한 3초 동안 정지를 했다가 내쉴 때는 조금 길게 한 3, 4초 그래서 들어 마셨다가 잠시 머물렀다가 내쉬는데 한 10초 정도로 시작해가지고 그것이 익숙해지면 차츰차츰 한 20초 조금 더 이제 여러 해를 해가지고 조금 더 무리가 없이 조용하게 할 수 있으면 한 한 번 들어 마셨다가 머물렀다가 내쉬는데 한 30초 정도 걸려도 상관이 없습니다. 처음부터 30초 걸리게 하리라. 그것은 옳지 않는 것입니다. 그렇게 해서 호흡을 하는데 맨 처음에 준비 호흡으로 속에 있는 호흡을 완전히 다 입을 조금 벌리고 후 하고 다 내뿜어 버리고 다 내뿜었으면 또 스르르 들어 마셔. 들어 마시되 가슴이 미어지도록 들어 마신게요. 들어 마셔가지고 더 이상 참을 수 없을 정도로 참았다가 또 스르르 내쉬고 이러한 것이 이렇게 2번 내지 3번을 하는 이것은 준비 호흡이고 준비 호흡이 끝난 다음에는 아까 말씀드린 대로 자연스럽게 들어 마실 때도 코로 들어 마시고 내쉴 때도 코로 들어 내쉬되 조금도 무리가 없이 편안하게 이렇게 하시는 것입니다.
Now, in his Dharma speech, Sun Master Songdam introduced the methods of preparation breathing and Dantian breathing, which is also called abdominal breathing in modern language. So let's go through these two methods of breathing very carefully. Now, in preparation breathing, what we will be, like its name suggests, this is breathing method used to prepare for meditation, to relieve ourselves of any kind of emotional tension or stress that we may be feeling and enter into meditation. So in preparation breathing, we inhale through our nose and completely fill our chest. We hold until we feel mildly uncomfortable, and then finally we release our breath through our mouth in a long and soothing out-breath. So why don't we try this together several times? So together, inhale through your nose and completely fill your chest. So inhale, hold, and then exhale. Those who are familiar with our program will know this method. But what I would like to now emphasize is that when you inhale, try to feel the air filling every part of your upper torso. So you should not just be feeling your upper chest, you should also feel your rib cage expand. You should feel the air rise all the way up to the collarbone. You should also feel the air go even into your back, as if it's filling up the space between your shoulders. Imagine that you are completely and fully drawing in air into your chest and inflating it as much as possible. And then from that situation, hold your breath. Hold it very calmly with relaxed muscles. And then finally, when you exhale, exhale with the feeling that you are now removing all of that air from all the little pockets in your upper torso, from between your shoulders, from your upper chest, from your middle chest, from your lower chest. So with those instructions in mind, let's try this again and with greater precision. So together, inhale, hold, then exhale. When we perform preparation breathing carefully like this and thoroughly like this, we will find that not only does it relieve us of stress and tension, it also fills us physically with energy, and mentally we find that our minds become much more clear, much more bright. So let's try this one more time. Together, inhale. Hold. Then exhale. If you do this preparation breathing carefully and meticulously, you will find that as simple as it is, it completely changes your physical and mental situation. Now, once we've performed 3 or 4 or 5 preparation breaths, we then enter into the main breathing method of sun meditation, which traditionally is called Dantian breathing. Dantian refers to the energy center of our body, which is traditionally said in Buddhism and Taoism to be located several centimeters below our navel. Now, in the past, many viewers have written in asking about this Dantian, telling us that they really can't feel where it is, they're not sure what they're doing, and all they can really feel is that they're trying to move their belly back and forth. Now, this is understandable for beginners, but I would like to emphasize here that when we perform Dantian breathing, we perform it as if we're drawing in the air and the energy, the so-called qi energy of the universe, into our Dantian. In order to do that, we have to have a fairly precise idea of where the Dantian is in our body. So for today's episode, I would like to provide instructions for you to specifically locate where the Dantian is. So wherever you are now, please stand up the way that I'm standing now. Once you've stood up, take your 2 thumb tips, join them together like this, and then place them directly over your belly button. So your 2 thumbs should be parallel to your belly button. And then you join your forefingers together like this. Your Dantian, the level of your Dantian, is at the tip of your forefingers. So most people assume it's very close to the navel, but it's actually quite a bit lower. Now, this is the level of it. This is not the location. The Dantian is inside your lower abdomen. In order to feel where your Dantian is, from this position, what I would like to now ask you to do is clench your sphincter muscles over and over again. Imagine that you're drawing up your internal organs. Those of you who have practiced yoga will know what I mean when I say try to raise your perineal floor. So you're not simply trying to squeeze down there as if you have to go to the bathroom. You're going to try to squeeze and raise the lowest part of your gut. Do this several times. And when you do that, you will feel a kind of throbbing or pulling in the middle of your gut around the area of your forefingers. That is where your Dantian is located. It is not your Dantian. The Dantian is not a physical object, but that sensation tells you where it's located in your lower abdomen. So get a sense of where it is inside of your body. And then when we perform abdominal breathing or Dantian breathing, try to imagine that you are breathing in air and qi energy to that point, the Dantian point in your abdomen. So why don't we try some Dantian breathing now? Please sit in a chair as I am sitting. Sit so that your spine is freestanding and your feet are comfortably flat on the floor and roughly parallel to each other. Now, the reason why we sit in a chair is because many of us find it difficult to assume the traditional half lotus or lotus seated position for sun meditation. So for those of us who are still learning how to do Dantian breathing, it's often easier for us to sit in a chair because it doesn't create as much physical tension. If, however, you're very comfortable with the half lotus and lotus position, feel free to sit in that way too. Whichever way is more comfortable for you is best. And then the rest is the same as the traditional sun meditation posture. Take your hands into the traditional posture, tuck in your chin slightly, place the tip of your tongue against the roof of your mouth. And now we're going to practice Dantian breathing. Now, Dantian breathing, as my teacher said, is performed only through the nose. So we inhale through our nose, and as we inhale, we push out our lower belly as if it's filling up with that air. Now, the important thing, the most important thing to remember here is, as we breathe in, try to keep your attention on the location of the Dantian in your abdomen. Try to remember where it was inside of your belly. When we breathe in, keep your attention on that spot inside your body and breathe in with the intention or imagination that you are directing that air and energy to the Dantian point. We breathe in, expand our lower belly, and when our lower belly feels about 80% full, we pause for 3 seconds. And then finally, when we exhale again through our nose in a long, gentle out-breath. And as we exhale, we allow our lower belly to deflate. Throughout all of this, we keep our attention on the Dantian point. We breathe in as if the air is going to that point. We hold as if the energy is in that point. And then when we exhale as if our breath is emerging from that point. So try to bear all of this in mind, and why don't we practice together? So assume your position, and then very gently breathe in. Pause. And then breathe out. Again, breathe in. Pause. And then breathe out. Those of you who are more experienced with Dantian breathing may feel a kind of heat or gathering of energy. You may even feel a throbbing in the middle of your abdomen, which tells you where your Dantian is. For those of us who are beginners, it's okay if you don't feel these things yet. But even though all this may seem a little bit unfamiliar, try to keep these instructions in mind and use these instructions to guide your Dantian breathing. Why don't we try one more cycle of breath? So together, breathe in, pause, and then breathe out. In his Dharma speech, Sun Master Songdam said that our breathing cycle could get as long as 20 or 30 seconds. But it takes quite a bit of practice before our breathing cycle relaxes and becomes that long. For those of us who are really just beginning, as a reference, when we inhale, you should inhale for about 3 seconds. When we pause for about 3 seconds. And then when we exhale, let the out-breath be a little longer for about 4 seconds. That's just a reference. You don't have to match 10 seconds. And then as you practice, regardless of how long or short your breath cycle is, it will continue to grow longer and more stable and more gentle. So that's how to perform preparation breathing and Dantian breathing. Now let's continue to listen to Sun Master Songdam's instructions on how to perform sun meditation.
그 다음에는 마음을 고르는 건데, 마음이라는 게 도대체 우리가 이름으로는 마음이다 하지만 우리는 한 번도 이 육안으로 마음을 볼 수가 없어. 이 마음을 어떻게 고르느냐? 눈으로 보여야 무엇을 어떻게 할 텐데 보이지 않는 마음을 고른다 하는 것은 좀 이해하기가 어려웠겠지만은 화두, 공안이라고도 화두라고 하는데 문헌상에 옳은 것만 해도 1700 공안이 있는데 오늘 내가 여러 도반들에게 구원하고 싶은 것은 시삼마라고 하는 화두입니다. 우리말로는 이 무엇고 이것이 무엇인고 그 말인데 부르면 대답할 줄도 알고 욕하면 썩낼 줄도 알고 칭찬하면 기뻐할 줄도 알고 정든 사람이 죽으면 슬퍼할 줄도 알고 배고프면 밥 먹을 줄도 알고 그런 놈이 있거든. 눈을 통해서 모든 것을 볼 줄도 알고 귀를 통해서 모든 것을 들을 줄도 알고 도대체 보이지도 않고 붙잡을 수도 없고 알 수가 없지만은 분명히 이 몸뚱이를 끌고 다니는 주인공, 소소영령한 주인공이 있는데 내가 이제 이놈이 무엇이냐 이렇게 생각하는 겁니다. 이 무엇고 숨을 들어 마셨다가 내쉬면서 이 무엇고 알 수 없이 의심으로 이 무엇고 이렇게 화두를 드는 것입니다. 부처님께서 84,000의 묘한 법을 49년 동안에 걸쳐서 그렇게 간곡히 뭐다 말씀을 하셨지만은 한마디로 말하면 너의 차성을 깨달으라. 너의 이 지수합봉 4대로 뭉쳐진 이 몸뚱이는 더럽고 무상한 것이지만 이 몸뚱이를 끌고 다니는 이 소소영령한 그 차성을 큰놈을 깨달아야 생사해탈을 하느니라. 그 공부해 나가는 방법을 중생 근기에 따라서 여러 가지로 말씀을 하셨고 그래서 무상을 깨닫고 발심을 해서 생사윤회 속에서 그 속에서 생사해탈하는 법을 가르쳐 주신 것입니다. 열반하신 지 3,000년이 되었지만 역대 조사들이 등등상속으로 전해 내려오시면서 오늘날까지 이 최상승법, 활구참선법이 전해 내려와 가지고 우리가 오늘 또 이 법을 이 공부를 하기 위해서 도반들이 이렇게 모이셨고 산신이 이렇게 또 간곡히 부탁 말씀을 드리게 된 인연은 다급생내로 우리가 부처님 회상에서 많은 인연을 가졌기 때문이라고 생각이 됩니다.
So let's review Sun Master Songdam's instructions on performing the most important element of sun meditation, which is where we direct our attention. Now, in practicing sun meditation, we direct our attention at what is called the hwadu, or the primary question that we ask in sun meditation. So, to review his instructions, we hold proper meditation posture, we engage Dantian breathing. We inhale, pause, and then on the out breath, we ask the question to ourselves, 이무엇고. 이무엇고 is Korean for what is this? What is this inside me that directs my body and feels my emotions and thinks my thoughts? The purpose of sun meditation is to become enlightened to who and what I really am, to my own true nature. This is something, it is said, that cannot be expressed in language. We cannot imagine it. It's not something that we can understand through sensory experience. It must be understood through the experience of enlightenment. Now, this is the part of sun meditation that I think modern people have the most trouble with. What many viewers have said is that they feel like they're just repeating imoko over and over again. Imoko, imoko, imoko. They feel like they can't really bring the question to life. Sun Master Songdam tells us to raise the state of the unknowable doubt. But everyone says, or many viewers say, that they don't really understand what this doubt means. So let's review this technique in greater detail. The most important thing to understand here is that when we say 이무엇고, the words themselves are not important. When we say the first syllable, Y-I-E, that means this. What we need to understand is when we say E, this, it means the thing that's asking this. The word this is unimportant. It's the thing that's asking this. So when we ask, what is this? What we're really asking is, what is this that is asking, what is this? When we say E, we're asking, what is this that says E at the beginning of imoko? We are directing our attention inward to the thing that pays attention. Now, this form of meditation is traditionally described in a phrase that goes like this: turn the light around and shine it back. What that means is this: imagine that your mind is a lamp. And when the lamp shines its light on something, that light is your attention. So typically, the lamp shines its light on everything but itself. It shines its light on whatever's in front of it or whatever's around it or whatever you point it at. But the lamp never shines on its own self. What we're trying to do in sun meditation, when we do the imoko hwadu, is we're trying to turn the light of our attention around and shine it back at its own source. When we say this, we're not worried about the word this. We are trying to direct our attention at the thing that just said this. So this is, when we do this, we feel blocked. We feel stuck. That is called doubt. This doubt is the natural consequence of trying to turn the light around and shine it back. Doubt is not a state of mental anguish. You're not supposed to sit there and become very stressed out asking imoko. You shouldn't be going, imoko, imoko. There's no mental energy that's used here. Imagine the way we use our eyes. When we want to look at something, we just direct our eyes at the target. We don't actually have to tense up our eyes. It's exactly the same thing in sun meditation. We direct our mental gaze inward. And as we do that, we keep our bodies relaxed and stable and balanced. We keep our emotions calm, peaceful, and relaxed through Dantian breathing. And the intensity of sun meditation doesn't come from mental effort. It comes from constancy of paying attention. It comes from paying attention steadily over time. That's where the true intensity of sun meditation is. So this is how we perform the practice of imoko. Now, why don't we do it together, bearing this in mind? And I will perform it out loud for you so you can just follow along. So hold the meditation posture, and then inhale, and then pause, and then on the exhale, imoko. Once again, inhale, pause, and then on the exhale, imoko. Again, inhale, pause, and then on the exhale, imoko. There is no energy used up, there is no tension in sun meditation. Now, for those of you who practice this form of meditation in Chinese, you can say it in Chinese. In Chinese, you would say shi shenma. So you breathe in, hold, and then on the out breath, shi shenma. In your own mind, say it as naturally as you can if your native language is Chinese. For the rest of us, if we speak a European language or some other language, it's best to stay with the original Korean, imoko, and just get used to that. This is the distinguishing feature of Korean sun meditation. In all other forms of Buddhist meditation, we direct our attention at something else. It could be a candle, it could be a sacred image like a Buddha image or a mandala. We could be directing our attention at a repeated phrase in our mind, like a mantra. We could be directing attention at an image that we visualize in our mind. We can even be directing our attention at some kind of sound. But what's very unusual and interesting about sun meditation is that, as far as I know, it is the one form of Buddhist meditation where from the very beginning you are actually directing your attention to the thing that you want to become enlightened to and perceive. You are actually directing your attention to yourself from the beginning to the end. The actual act of meditation is what we're trying to become enlightened to. You are actually directing your attention to the thing that you want to become enlightened to. It is the one form of meditation where you are directing your attention at something that has no form and is not connected to any sensory experience. For this reason, it is often said that in sun meditation, when we practice sun meditation, we go from a place where there are no words to a place where there are no words. We go from a place where there is no form to a place where there is no form. We go from a place where there is no thought to a place where there is no thought. This type of sun meditation, where we use the hwadu, imoko, is formally called living phrase sun meditation. So what is living phrase sun meditation? Well, Sun Master Songdam first usually tells us what dead phrase sun meditation is, the very opposite of living phrase sun meditation. In dead phrase sun meditation, we ask the question, imoko, or some other hwadu, and we try to generate a theoretical or conceptual answer to it. We come up with thoughts and ideas and speculations and theories. This is called dead phrase sun meditation because it's considered lifeless. It will not lead to enlightenment. It will not lead to personal growth or self-transformation. And literally, he has often said that it's a waste of time. In living phrase sun meditation, trying to generate an answer is not the point. We are trying to generate the state of doubt. Now, in generating the state of doubt, you don't need to have the intention of it. You don't have to say, I'm going to doubt the hwadu now. Imoko, imoko. That's not how it's done. Once again, simply by directing your attention to its own source, you will naturally create the state of doubt. The state of doubt is traditionally described as a state in which we are trying to know the unknowable and perceive the imperceptible. So what is this thing that's unknowable and imperceptible? It is our true self, our true nature. This is what we are trying to become enlightened to. So once again, I would like to say that it is a great honor and pleasure for me to formally introduce Sun Master's Dharma speeches to the world in this manner. To my knowledge, this is the first time that his teachings will become directly available to everyone in Korea and also to everyone around the world when we release these videos onto the internet. So I think that this is a wonderful thing, and we should all take advantage of this opportunity to learn this very unique meditative tradition that still exists within Korean Sun Buddhism. So please accept Sun Master Songdam's teachings and practices as a gift from Korea with love. Now, I believe we've come to the end of our episode for today. So as is tradition for our program, please assume meditative posture, and we will enter into our closing meditation. So with 3 strikes of the bamboo clapper, we will now enter into our closing meditation.
진로 형탈사비상이라 긴파승두 주일장이니라 일본 한철골인된 쟁득매화 팍비향이리오나 겨울 기후가 되게 강추위를 한 뒤끝에 매화가 피어야 그 매화꽃 향기가 진동하지. 겨울이 이상난동으로 뜨뜻한 뒤끝에 매화꽃이 피어봤자 그 매화꽃은 별로 향기가 없는 것 같다. 정말 무상을 깨닫고 철저히 발심을 해서 가행정진, 용맹정진을 해서 알차게 정진을 한 뒤끝이라야 참다운 깨달음을 얻을 수가 있을 것이다.